It's Charge Talks with Jan. Turning brokenness into ministries and stories into stepping stones, overcoming mountains and walking through valleys. It's Charge Talks with Jan. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jan, and it is another amazing day. So today is a great day to go out and make your indelible mark on the world. You know, a day to show up and a day to dress up and a day to do what it is that you are meant to be doing. So it's always good to show love. It's always good to, be your best self and be the best person that God has created you to be. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, God, how can I be your version of myself? Because it's all good to live your best life and be living 10x and all these things, but what is the life that God has intended for us to live? What is God's view on this life that He has called us to live? And so it is imperative that whatever we do, we ensure that we are living the life that God has ordained for us to live. We're going through the motions of everyday life, but it's really important that we stop and take a look and say, okay, what is it that God has intended for me to do? What direction has He pointed me in so that I can be a better person? I can be more forgiving. I can face the truth. I can accept the truth. And I can work with the things that are not so good about me, and I can make them better. So it all comes down, in my opinion, as to the rules to life. And that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. The rules to life. And to me, they're pretty simple. To me, they're quite simple. And it's just amazing when we really sit and understand the rules to life. If we put it together, we will get it right. And I really hope that we get it right. So for the first one, for me, in my rules to life, is one, living God's version of who you are to be. Because everybody has their own opinions of who you are to be, of who you are to become, of what is it that you're going to be doing, where it is that you're going to be going. But as long as you're living God's version of who you are to be, then I believe life is going to be really good. The second one for me is to learn to love without condition. And that is a very hard one for most people. And I'm going to be honest, it was very hard for me. Especially to the persons, that you really and truly did not expect them to be so hard to love, but they are. And one of those persons, for me, was my own self. So let's not be any hypocrites around here. One of those persons that was hard for me to love without condition was my own self. Meaning that I found every fault that could be wrong with me in my head. Like, I thought my nose was too big. I thought my forehead was too high. I thought that, my toes were not so toey, if that's even a term. My knees, I thought they were just wanky. They would always make this little sound when I walk, and they still do. Honestly, they still do. Not a loud, crickety noise, but I hear it. And once I hear it, I thought that, something was wrong with it. So I wanted to change that. Also, I didn't like that at first. At first, I didn't like that, my butt was flat. But thank God now, exercises. Beautiful exercises. So there were a lot of things that I didn't like about myself, and that was just on the outside. On the inside, oh my God, I was dying from lack of self-esteem, lack of self-love, lack of self-acceptance. There was a lot of things. So I was one of the hardest persons to love without condition. But as I accepted God's version of myself, I started to love me without condition. The third one is to talk without bad intention. Because a lot of times we see things and the first thing that comes to our mind, I kid you not, it's a bad thought. It's like, it must have been, something bad. Like, for example, a lot of time we're driving on the road and somebody overtakes us in a very speedy fashion and they're just going. Sometimes they may even run the red light and you're like, I must somebody are running down our maga catch somebody and yard or something. But it never crossed our minds that maybe that person is on his way to the hospital, or maybe that person, got a bad phone call and they're heading to the police station, or something bad has happened to that person. And instead of having a good thought and say, okay, God, maybe didn't do the right thing, but guide him and protect him on his way, we always jump to the bad thing first. A lot of times we do that, and that is just the truth. The other thing is give without reason. Now, this is serious, guys. A lot of times we give people things based on how it allows us to feel. And I ain't gonna be no hypocrite. I used to do that. I swear to God. I would give something and then it dawned on me. Not recently, it's a long time now. It dawned on me and I was like, when I read it in one of the Gospels, it says that if we give just to receive from others, then, as Christians, we're no better than the world. God doesn't give us anything looking for us to say, okay, God did this and God did that. No, he gave us because he loves us. He gave us because he wants us to be at peace. He wants us to have peace. Remember when he was leaving and says, listen, I'm not going to leave you guys comfortless. I'm going to send you a comforter. And he did. And so it is really, really crucial that we give without looking for anything in return. Just give for no reason. If you see somebody and you are able to give, then give. But don't give and say, oh, me I give her so she better know. Say when she reach somewhere in her life, she give me back. No, guys. No. That's the wrong motive. Wrong motive. And even if the intention is right, if the motive is wrong, it's still wrong, in my opinion. The other thing, and the final one, it says, care for people without any expectation. I've done said it. What on earth do you mean, Jan? Like, care for people without any expectation? Yes. Why? Because God does it for us every single day. He does it for us every single day. There are no qualms about it. He doesn't do it on a, if you do this, then I will do that kind of attitude. Like, we do that most of the time. As human beings, we're like, okay, I'm going to do this for you because I need you to do something for me back, right? But God doesn't do that. And it's important that we as children of God and, as human beings in general, we care, without any expectation. We visit somebody who is sick. We give to somebody who is in need. We care, mighty God, for those who are not as fortunate as we do. And when I say fortunate, I don't mean that they don't have money like we do or clothes. No, sometimes there are some people that, based on the circumstances that they're in, are not able to even walk based on an accident that they had, or have speech impediment, or whatever it is. But however we can assist, however we can make their lives better, I believe that as brothers and sisters, as a family, in the church and out of the church, we should definitely care for people without any expectation. And those, I believe that if we get those basic rules to life, then we can understand that we live God's version of who we ought to be, that we love, without any condition, that we definitely talk without bad intentions, that we give without any reason, and most of all, care without any expectation. I don't care who it is. I don't care even if when you give them, they don't even say thank you. That's the point where I get. Like, if I give you something out of the goodness of my heart, because I see, and if I was in that position, you know, I would want some love and some support. And I'm not giving you so when you get back on your feet, you're gonna let your old John did spot me at 20 grand, so I'm obligated. Nah, it's not like that. Honestly, it's doing what you can for people. It's embracing and forgiving and just letting go, just caring. Do you know how good it feels when you're not having a good day and somebody can, you know, tell you some hard truth and it really rubs you the wrong way, but then you realize that it is the truth, and the truth doesn't always sound good, but it's the truth that you just got to deal with it. I've had that even recently. And the truth, honestly, always, especially if you don't want to hear it, doesn't sound good when you're hearing it. Especially if the person bringing it across is not so palatable with the truth. But at the end of the day, it's still the truth. So it's either you're going to work with it or you're just going to work with it because it's the truth. But that is what it means to care without any expectation. And it's good. It may not sound good in the moment. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest. It may not sound good in the beginning when you're getting that truth, that hard truth. But at the end of the day, once you can be honest enough to look within yourself and say, listen, this person cares about me. And even though what I'm doing is not good, and they see it necessary to help me see what I can't see, then I believe that it's something to be applauded. You know, so those are my summation of rules to life. And I really hope and pray that it will help you to become the version that God has created you to be, to just live and be awesome. There's this new book that I'm reading, guys, and I'm so excited about it. Her name is Stacey Elridge. I hope you can see it. You guys can see it. The lighting is a bit yeah, there it is. It's called Free to Be Me. At the bottom it says, becoming the young woman God created you to be. And funny enough, this talk wasn't even inspired by this book. But it's just, for me, it's just good to always have a good read, whether it's the Bible or motivational books like these, inspirational books like these, the Gleaner, whatever it is that you get your hands on to read. When I was growing up, it said reading making a full man. I didn't understand because I was a girl, but I grew up and I understood it. So I just pray that these rules, these summation of rules that I came up with, really and truly help somebody else out there to start understanding that life can be a lot less stressful if we allow God to take control. So please, I ask you, like the videos, give them the thumbs up in your liking, and leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the rules to life. And if you have any rules of your own, please let me know in the comments below. And of course, please subscribe to the videos, to the channel. I am so grateful for all those who have done so far, and I'm so thankful for the love. Mwah! Keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. It's Charge Talks with Jan. Turning brokenness into ministries.